Hi, it's Fiery Grace the Gifted. I'm here with some messages from the 5D Divine Masculine. I don't really know what is up right now, but for some reason I've been kind of brought out of sleep and been getting some downloads and uh I guess I'm not surprised because of some of the things that are being communicated. Um in just in terms of the timing and all of that, but I do think that there's this sense of urgency for some reason because there are some divine feminines who just are not ready to hear this, not because they're not ready, because they don't believe it, they don't want to. And so this divine masculine, well, I don't know if this is like a large part of the collective or what, but again, the messages are so on point that I'm kind of assuming that it's a pretty large portion of those who are struggling or, really in some sort of strange pseudo union situation. Very, very interesting. So, what I've done to make sure that everything is as clear as possible in terms of coming out specifically here for this message in particular is I've already shuffled. I just have not split the deck. So all of the decks are sitting in this kind of almost blessed, right? There's one last thing to do. So just to make sure that we all, get as clear a message as possible, okay? All right, so this is what I've been led to pull. I've been led to learn what we need to be healing as divine feminines, what we need to continue to be strong on, when we can expect our divine masculines, as well as some encouragement and advisement on who we can embody as a divine feminine in order to make this a part of our best life in these moments as the divine masculine approaches, or again as our union maybe even is receiving an overhaul. We'll see, let's find out. All right, so first things first, let me split this. We've got the healing deck. Come. All right, so wow. Okay, first of all, the overall energy is wow. Okay, first and second of all, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out right now. This is first was the emperor, then we have the empress. So you see the emperor is command, and then we've got bounty, and then guess what's underneath that? Balance. Yeah, dude. Underneath that is the 3 of Wands and then the lovers. I'm getting a really strong sense that there is some really beautiful energy fast approaching now that the emperor has taken command. But I'm going to flip this. Let's find out. It's again, I like to call the card kind of in the back of the deck the unasked question. What is it that we're not thinking about, not considering, wouldn't think to ask, right? So let's find out, what is it that needs to be healed? Interesting that the 3 of Wands came up and now we have the 2 of Wands. Let's read the booklet. You know, this Medicine Woman booklet, I love their meanings. 2 of Wands is recognize the call to act. Okay, hold on a second. Let's go back where we were. We have command, bounty, balance. Command, bounty, balance. That would be 18 total, because that's justice, by the way. Balance is justice. Okay, then we've got the 3 of Wands, which would make that 21. So full circle, bringing the world back around is what leads us to the lovers. Do I see symbolism? The dove. The dove of peace is the sun. Okay, so what I'm getting here is that there is a call to act, meaning that the divine masculines have either offered a like an olive branch, or they have plans to offer an olive branch. They're trying to come in, and the thing is, I think a lot of us as divine feminines forget that because we are enlightened and awakened in so many ways, and because we kind of know union is coming and blah blah blah, some of us don't realize that even in those moments, we're going to do something we don't want to do because of what we think we're supposed to do or what we've been told to do based on what we already think is coming. that might be kind of weird to say, but what I mean is there might be an instance for some divine feminines where when the divine masculine finally does show up and say, hey, I'm ready, what's going on, let's do this in their own way, the divine feminine says, well, first of all, I just need to lay down some boundaries and ground rules because I'm not going into union this way. Da, 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 da. And it's almost like we don't even know how to stop ourselves from doing it. And all of a sudden, we've got this divine masculine running for the hills because they're like, oh man, I thought she'd be cool. I thought he was going to be cool about this, and they're acting crazy. And so I just want to warn you to make sure you're aware of your own awakening, your own enlightenment, and how that part of you does make the difference in these relational transactions that we have. And we have to be very cautious that we don't approach it as a transaction that is, helping us get into some sort of relationship versus the true partnership that it really is. So that the first thing I'm getting from this is, in order to allow the sun to shine, in order to allow this new thing in, we have to let the olive branch be the olive branch. Okay, you cannot turn down the olive branch, and you cannot burn it. You have to take it and you have to allow it to transform the relationship. So that's the first thing I'm hearing. Okay, so there's a call to action, there's a call to act that we need to recognize. And one of the things is going to be when this divine masculine reaches out or shares something. I know my divine masculine has actually recently been trying to make sure I know how deep he is in this with me. He's really been making a lot of efforts in different ways. And you guys, we're in union. And still, because of how our union began, I think there's points where I'm just confused or just don't really understand, or, I think that maybe he's doing something because he knows that I want him to, or he knows that I would appreciate it, but I don't think he's doing it for himself or because he really wants it or whatever, right? There's little things that I still believe from when we were not in union. And so even now, my masculine, we've been together for a year, in full union for a year, and still he has to work on this with me. So don't think that, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Fire Grace. If they come in right now, I'm totally down. Be cautious with that. I think that some of the problem, I saw that. I shared something today that said, when you realize that you're the one that's emotionally unavailable. A lot of divine feminines, because of readers or even, hey, our own personal decisions. I remember there was that reader, and everyone, I think they kind of knew who I was talking about at the time. It wasn't anything against her, but there was something very specific she always said that just kind of, I stopped watching her because of this main thing, which was she'd always go, we don't accept crumbs. No, no, we do not accept crumbs, divine feminine. And I knew what she was talking about, but I also knew that not everyone would. And I felt that by saying that, she was limiting a lot of people whose divine masculines are coming in as the Page of Pentacles, which is a lot of the ones in my my what's it called, my tribe, and my oh my gosh, my collective. What do I call that? I don't know what I call this. Oh, wave. I was like, where did it go? Yeah, so on this wave that I'm on with a lot of these divine feminines that I work with, it is about the pentacle. It is about feeling lack and not feeling like we have enough and all that. And so we have to be really cautious about what we take in from others and what we kind of, put on ourselves. If you've seen one too many memes that say something that really resonates with you, now you've taken on this idea and don't even realize it's become your stance. So be very cautious about that. Hold on, let me just take a moment. I want to look at this one more time. Interesting. Interesting. I see the Queen of Wands here, and I see the Six of Swords here, except it's only the divine feminine. I think the divine masculine needs you to go home. Go home to who you are, and he will come get you from there, and that is where you guys will go. Interesting that, oh wow, this is very interesting, because the card, and I can show you this only because I haven't shuffled this deck yet, so I don't feel bad about moving anything. But you see this is where we're going to get some answers about when the divine masculine is coming in, and it's just interesting that I can see this water in the background. I see this here as well. Hold on, let me look at these. Because yes, so interesting. Look at that. The divine feminine, the Empress, typically you will see a waterfall or some sort of water source, something flowing. So very interesting, because it's also here in the balance card, but it's not here. Why? Where is he? He is inside. I'm freaking shaking right now. He's inside of the lodge, okay? And so here's what I'm really getting out of this. The divine masculine is asking the divine feminine to walk away from her conflict, walk away from her pain, walk away from all of the things that have stopped her from moving forward in her life and in her union journey. He's asking her to do this, and he's saying, listen, I understand what you've gone through. All right. I've taken the command, meaning I've taken the time to figure out where I have been the problem. I've taken accountability, I've taken responsibility, and I see that there are some things that I need to do. But I need you to go home. I need you to go back to who you were when we first met, or when, because a lot of you don't realize, and I feel like I've stopped saying this, so I probably should mention this again. A lot of divine feminines met their divine masculines at a turning point in their lives. And they automatically associated the turning point with union and the divine masculine, not knowing that a part of the twin flame, that whole idea of someone being the catalyst, I believe that that's not really a thing. I believe that your true twin flame actually is a catalyst. And because of all the confusion in the community, we've decided to just apply that as a label to somebody. But I don't believe that's, I believe we are each other's catalysts throughout the relationship, and that doesn't have to be some sort of karmic thing. And so the divine feminine needs to think back. Where was I going? And listen to this very closely. Where was I going in the time frame, in the moments where I met my divine masculine? Most of you had a new plan. Most of you had a new idea. Most of you had a new sense of focus. Most of you had some semblance of either I am a light worker and I need to go work in my light, or I think that I might be something special and I need to pay attention to this. Something had happened, and the divine masculine either was a part of that and you met them right after you kind of made these decisions, or when you met them, it caused some of these things. And then if there was a separation that occurred, you automatically probably assumed, oh no, I need to focus on that thing that is now being ripped from me, because that thing gave me a sense of purpose, or that, and it was like, it was never that person, it was you. And a lot of, and here, this is where I'm saying, listen closely. On the other side, a lot of the divine masculines, they need to do the opposite. They need to think about what they had decided right up until that point where they'd met their divine feminine. Because most of them, right when they met their divine feminine, she was meant, or he was meant, to be a catalyst in their life, to make them stop what they were doing. Most of them had just made a decision. Oh, and it was going to be something that was very easy to go forward with, but very challenging to stop. And it was meant to help them take command in their own life. So the divine feminine needs to stop and think back. For me, it was right around that time where I had just started writing my erotica and getting really into this new book series. It's not new anymore, obviously, it's a couple years old now. It was right around the time where I'd started to find my voice again, and had started doing a lot of speaking, open mics, public speaking engagements, poetry, singing, but rapping, and then also like comedy. I had opened myself up back as this person that was meant to be a voice. And shortly after that, my life just fell apart. And it was not anything to do with my divine masculine. It was already on that trajectory to fall apart. And now look what has happened. I had to go back to that point and remember, this is what I was doing back then, and go back on that road. That's what I've been doing this year. This year, I have been rowing my boat back to my true self, my Queen of Wands energy. Okay? A lot of people don't like the Queen of Wands in the twin flame community because that card, for some reason, has become the karmic card. The truth is, I feel like that's limiting us as well as divine feminines, because we now can't act like the Queen of Wands. We can't be vibrant and vivacious and just exude this excitement and love of life. And the Fanta girl, I'm seeing Charro, Sofia Vergara, just I am so happy. We're not allowed to do that, because that's the karmic, and that's the exact problem. That's exactly why the divine masculines are drawn to the karmics, because the karmics have the energy of freedom. Oh, I'm just gonna shake it a little bit. I don't care. Oh yeah, I'm going for it. I don't care. We need to put a little bit of that effort in our system, okay? We need to put a little bit more effort in there. I don't care. Not about life. No. I'm saying I don't care about all this stuff that I've put all this worry onto anymore. I don't care. I'm going into my lodge. I'm coming into myself. I'm going to blow the freaking peace pipe, and it is going to draw to me the peace that comes, and I'm going to take it and accept it. And I'm going to open myself up to who I truly am, which is going to fall or call my divine masculine out of his lodge, his home, her or her, and they're going to come get me. I just want to make sure you guys know that. I just say him and her because it's divine masculine, divine feminine, and it's just easier than constantly stumbling over, I mean, her or them or they. And it just, all right. So forgive me. I'm still working on my pronouns, but hopefully you guys know my heart. So, all that being said, it is time to come into your own, okay? It is time to realize that you have stepped so far away from who you really are, and that's why you don't like yourself on this union journey. That's why maybe some of you are like, well, I do like who I've become, because the twin flame journey has opened me up to like unconditional love, and I totally dig that. But I'm talking about those of you who are ashamed of your behavior, who don't want to tell people what you've been doing or thinking about, who know you've become obsessive. You don't like yourself because that's not really, I don't want to say that's not who you are, because some of y'all have been like this since, before twin flames was a thing to you. So, but I'm talking about those of you who have just fallen apart because of this. It's time to go back. And it's time to go back to who you were before you had this heavy burden of being the divine feminine in separation on you. Okay. That's just, you've claimed that label so strongly, and now it's you. Time to release that. So come into who you truly are. Step into your Empress nature. Your divine masculine has stepped into his Emperor nature. And remember what I just said. What's this? That's the boat. That's the Six of Swords. We're going back to the house. What does that divine feminine have in her arms? That's the baby. Look at how small the baby is. The baby's still nursing. In the Six of Swords, the baby is big. The baby is probably like a toddler, maybe even a small child, like a 3 or 4, 5-year-old. You need to go back because you left the baby. A lot of you guys have completely walked away from your light work in spite of the fact that that was the thing that really propelled you and had your trajectory going right into union. And you allowed the divine masculine's issues or them deciding to do something stop you from doing what you were supposed to do. Go back and get that baby, nourish that baby. Some of you are going to have super breast milk, super milk, and that baby's going to grow, and you're going to be in union in a day. And as crazy as it sounds, I've seen it happen. Some of you are going to go back, and that baby is going to be on its last legs, and you're going to have to nourish that thing like a Tamagotchi from back in the day, and you're going to have to figure out the secret code to feeding that baby, or else you're going to be in that hut and that lodge for a while, getting it back to where it could even travel. How well does your baby travel? How far can your light work really take you with what you've decided in your head? All right, Fiery Grace, you're getting real preachy, and oh my gosh, I don't know why, but I was just rubbing my freaking third eye. I don't know what just made me reach up and do that. I rubbed it with this knuckle right here. Is that a thing? All right, anyways, I'm gonna step back because I don't want people to get upset. All right, but I do think it's time for us to start to nourish our dreams a little bit more than we have been. And so that's where we're saying bring everything back to balance. Okay, we need to come into this place where we're working together. You see them on the bottom, the couple, they're working together to hold the world up. And that's where I said it's interesting that you put all this together and then you put together the divine plan, that you see someone is stepping into the portal. You see her stepping through. When you do all that, that's where you get 21. This equals the world. Okay. So I just need you to understand that if you want union, if you want that, the ecstasy, and you want all that, you are going to have to help the world out. You do get that, right? All right. What's this next card here? So the next thing we're going to do is, okay, what we need to be strong in or continue to be strong in, meaning they see us. Okay. Let me split this. Alrighty, so you guys, I'm so glad thank you. I don't know what made me say I should split this on camera because they're not going to believe me. What do we have here but 4 of Wands? Oh, and what's next? King of Pentacles. Oh, and what's next? 6 of Cups. And oh, what's next? The Emperor. Do I need to keep going? You know what? 6 of Wands. Wait, one more. Empress. All right. So look, That's just the top. Okay. So we see union is coming. We see the King of Pentacles is stepping into himself. He's ready to make this offer with the Six of Cups. We see the Emperor. The Divine Feminine is what? What happens after the Divine Feminine? We see the Six of Wands. The Divine Feminine is moving forward in her own victory. And there we will see the Empress, right? Very interesting to me that we keep getting this point that the Divine Feminine needs to move. She needs to go forward. She needs to do her thing. He needs to make it happen. All right, so look at that. Four of Cups. Now, this is pretty spectacular. I believe that I've done a reading with this card, and I think it was one of these, like one of these simple short readings that I do. I'm pretty sure it was this card. I'm going to try to find it because I think this was the template. I mean, what's it called? The thumbnail. But I thought it was really interesting that for the Four of Cups in this deck, rather than having the fourth cup being offered, you have the fourth cup being manifested. She's got her three cups in front of her, and then she's got the fourth cup above her, bringing it into this realm. This what's this called? This paradigm. This I don't know. I'm having struggles. I'm having trouble with my words today. I think there's too much in my head. Four of Wands with the Four of Cups. That's you know. And look what's underneath this is the Queen of Cups. And look at that. She's manifesting. It's almost like I'm thinking about the Little Mermaid. Like she's manifesting the cup on land, but then it's really so she can go enjoy it in her natural state. All right, but let me figure this out. Oh, sorry, this goes back here. All right, let me figure this out. So, the Four of Cups typically represents discontent or boredom. All right, we're not happy with what we have, and we don't want more of what we already have because it's boring. Why would I want more of that? But what I really love about the Four of Cups is the fact that it's a card that talks about the how that discontent, right? How that frustration with what is actually leads us to make these major innovative changes in our life, right? This is, to me, this is probably what leads to alchemy. It's like, all right, I got lead, I got copper. Oh, these are so boring, you know? So it's like, maybe if I just play around with this. And I do get the sense that because of the fact that we're dealing with a different deck than the Rider Waite, I'm getting two of these meanings for a reason. On one side, I do get the sense that, yes, there are a lot of divine feminines out there who are very much tired of what's being offered. Their divine masculines may not be offering much at all. And, you know, talking about the whole breadcrumbs thing, right? We don't, not breadcrumbs, but crumbs. You know, they might not be offering too much at all and might feel like crumbs, like, ugh, why would I take this? This isn't much, you know? And so I will say that some of you might need to do a little bit of manifesting, right? Do a little bit of alchemy and look at what the divine masculine is actually offering you and make it sound good, make it feel good for you. Now, if they're offering you like literally nothing or just like, you know, maybe some sort of sexual relationship or something like that, I feel you. Like, I'm not trying to say that there are not masculines out there who don't do anything or don't do much. I get it. I'm just saying, if you have a divine masculine who you feel bad because you know you're kind of giving them a hard time, but that's what you feel like you've been told to do, and not by your guides or spirit or whatever, but just by readers and people and, you know, society, you might want to try to turn that over and look at that from a new light, okay? But then on the other side, the idea of this whole like manifesting something good out of what I feel like this is really talking about those of you who have done some affirmation or manifestation work to try to bring in union, but you focused more on just the beautiful energy of it all rather than like the specific person. Like I remember about a few months after I decided I just cannot do this with Mr. Lightwork. This was like that first year we had met. I wrote out this manifestation tool for myself, like an affirmation list of everything that described my perfect partner. And I did not describe them physically. Like I knew that some of the things that I was writing down were actually like the opposite of what Mr. Lightwork was about. Like at that point, it was really hard to get him to communicate with me regularly, but that's because he had like a different girl for every day. So, you know, I was Wednesdays or whatever. I'm just kidding. I don't know what day I was, but, so it was like, you know, he did not have the energy or the time, and I did not like that. And so I remember I wrote something that was kind of encouraging the new person. I really did not believe Mr. Lightwork was going to be it just because of how he just was like, nope, yuck. And I was like, I don't want that. And so I remember writing like, you know, he makes time to see me and keeps up with me throughout the day. I wrote that as an affirmation about my divine masculine, who I believed would be, you know, somebody who did that, not knowing that Mr. Lightwork would in essence turn into that person. So some of you are manifesting your true masculine in doing some of this work, and some of you are manifesting the behaviors in your divine masculine, like encouraging or opening that up within them. Mr. Lightwork actually used to be such a relationship guy like 3 months before we met, so it really wasn't that hard for him to go back to being a good boyfriend kind of person. Okay. But again, I think it's interesting to think about how you have been manifesting. What have you been saying? Who have you been manifesting for? Some of you who have received coaching enough from me have heard me say to you, you have to stop trying to manifest on their behalf. What does that mean? Where's my little, oh dear. Let's see. This wasn't supposed to be all this, but it's turning into it. Sorry, guys. Which one of these is really bright? That's a highlighter. Not the blue. Where's the pink one? I'm only using the pink because it's super bright. All right, so let me just show you guys something. I think I've shown you this before, but I'm gonna do it again, okay? So you, and then here's your DM, okay? 1,000 times yes, but they have that times no, okay? And then, okay, all right, so let's say that every time you manifest something, you do it with a certain number of units of energy, okay? So let's say that right here, this person is manifesting 1,000 times worth of energy. Yes, I want to be in union, right? So you're over here doing this manifesting. And this manifesting that you're doing in particular, yes, I want to be in union, technically has nothing to do with you because you're completely open to it. So you're not actually manifesting any sort of behavior on your end, right? Because you already want it. So all these 1,000 points are technically being manifested on behalf of who? You're doing this, you're affirming this for your divine masculine. But what you don't know is your divine masculine is over here on the other side, manifesting and affirming and confirming 100,000 times no. No, 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 no. Now, guess what's going to happen? You're going to end up with the negative 999,990, whatever it is. You're going to end up with that negative energy because you're going against what he's doing. And he has far more power in his own life, in his own behaviors, and his own actions than you do in his. So here's what you should be doing instead. You should instead be manifesting, 1 million or 100,000 or 5 or even 1% of a percentage of a percentile. Okay, you could be manifesting with the faith the size of a mustard seed, if you will, and you can manifest things into your own life because there's nothing going against it. There's nothing stopping it. How many times have you heard me say the moment you involve another person, it's going to go crazy? If it's just you, you can do it. You can handle it. You can make it happen. And if you focus on yourself and building for yourself and creating for yourself, even if it's so that you can give. Okay, I want to manifest $1 billion because I want to give it away. Ah, I see. I will give you that then. Here you go. Oh, I want to manifest this other person for whatever reason. Well, sorry, but that person is not a thing to be manifested. So instead, you could manifest yourself into being someone that fits more of what they're looking for, or you can manifest yourself into being the best you can be, and you can accept, that's probably the better one, accept whatever the best is that the universe has for you. If it's that divine masculine, I bet you they'll come. When I started focusing on manifesting for me instead of manifesting for someone else, worrying about what other people thought, blah, 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 manifesting things for me that other people wanted for me that I didn't really want, hello. Start thinking about that. How many points am I really getting here if it's just me? And how many points do I lose automatically for trying to manifest on someone else's behalf? I'm going to leave that there. I think that's what you needed for that. All right, let's go to here. So the divine mask. Oh, you know what? Let me read this actually. Let me see if there's anything in here that may be of a benefit to you. Oh, 6 of Cups. 4 of Cups. So the lower vibration of this, really, I don't think there is anything positive here. Yeah, we've got distracted, withdrawal, stubborn, self absorption, lost opportunities. You're completely unaware of the opportunities under your nose because you're absorbed with your own issues. You're convinced there's only one way to solve your problems because you're not open to possibilities. And yes, it's great to achieve your goals, but you have to remember that experiencing the journey along the way is what makes this more satisfying at the end. Getting stuck on a negative train of thought is not constructive, especially if you're the only one on that ride. There's a difference between being alone and feeling lonely. Okay, on the other side, we've got, although you're content with your life, you're also feeling bored and restless. Okay, so there's a dynamic here. I think there's some divine feminines who are just being stubborn and ridiculous, and some of you are going to sit here with what might end up being a false twin, or whatever you guys like to label it as. You might be just holding off your true twin from coming in because you're trying so hard to manifest this other person, but that's another story. And then there's some of you who just are happy, but you have just not been able to figure out how to detach enough to actually be happy. Like you're pretty good with everything, but this is the one thing that just screws you up so bad. It says, um, the status quo no longer appeals to you. You're at odds with yourself. Do you listen to your deepest desires or do you stay stagnant but safe? The fear of the unknown is causing you to withdraw, getting away from distractions to find peace. This is a time to contemplate, meditate, and reflect on what your true desires are and if you are living life to the fullest. The opportunities are there. Sometimes they're right in front of you, and you may be too self absorbed in your own problems to notice the possibilities that lie before you. Shift your perspective, open your eyes, and you'll see that what you seek is much more accessible than what you had originally thought. You have options. All right. So now let's find out. Let's split this deck. What is the divine masculine wanting to reveal about when they're coming in? Okay, now this is interesting. We've got stepping into stillness. This is the overall energy. Stepping into stillness. My power is born in the majesty of silence. Interesting. Okay, and underneath that is simplifying your life, and underneath that is dwelling in truth. Step into stillness, simplify your life, and dwell in your truth. But let's look at the back card. What is it that we need to know that we have not considered? Mending Bridges. All right, y'all, this is really starting to look cool. Yeah, I don't want to say it looks like there's some stuff the divine feminine needs to help out with, but I get that. Let me, where's this booklet? Mending Bridges. I heal rifts. I am a mender. This is what okay. The question is what? What is it that you want to reveal about when you are coming, or when union is coming, or when our union is making a shift? And the answer is mending bridges. And that looks like a feminine and a masculine right there. I mean, this is okay. We were just talking about going over water, right? We were talking about, and this is making me even see the 5 of Cups. Oh man, hold on. All right, I gotta read this. Mending bridges. Wow, mending bridges is right after manifesting dreams. That's weird, right? Because it's like step into stillness with the night, the moon, and then okay, focus. There's something up with these moons, man. Full moon in Gemini. That's the 12th. Closing dualities. And then we've got that new moon. Oh, the eclipse. Yeah, there's listen, don't be surprised because there's a eclipse cycle that's ending and then there's a new one that's starting. We are when I try to tell you over and over again, we're already in 2020 energy. It is not to beat a dead horse. I'm just trying to make sure that you realize, look around you, left, right, up, down, check the energies. We're already in 2020. All right, sorry. So, why am I still on manifesting dreams? Mending bridges. I heal rifts. I am a mender. Heal old wounds with respect to people and situations. Carefully do whatever you feel is necessary to make amends. You are a mender. Help others mend bridges in their lives. This is making me think of, like, for me, maybe I'm supposed to help Mr. Lightwork mend a bridge with, like, he's got just a god awful baby mama, and I am a product of that kind of relationship. Both my parents have 2 kids each, including me, so there's 5 siblings total, like between all of us, all different baby moms and dads. I have seen it all. I am not condemning this woman just because I'm the girlfriend. Y'all, she is awful. Her son's birthday is the day after mine. She is the same race as my mom. My divine masculine is the same race as my dad. Her birthday is only a few weeks after my mom's. Like, when I tell you guys I identify with this young boy that, is soon to be my son. I identify with him more than I should. It's kind of creepy. And she's the worst kind only because she is here to ruin Mr. Lightwork's life. Like, that's her only thing. She does not care about her kid, and he's been missing school. It's heartbreaking, and it's frustrating because I'm like the perfect chick to be in one of these situations and actually be like a really good stepmom, because I had a horrible stepmom. Like, and it's like I don't even really get the chance because she I don't know if she's still in love with him, but I think she is still bitter that they're not together, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's even a possibility. That's the only logic I can get out of it. What if I'm supposed to help with that? I mean, think about how I see this situation as something that's unmendable, something that honestly Mr. Lightwork is going to have to deal with for the rest of his son's youth, meaning until his son turns 18. And then if this bridge never gets mended, what if his son now has to know, like, his parents basically hate each other for the rest of his life? That's not healthy for him, right? And so maybe I'm supposed to come into a situation as a healer that seems completely unmendable and be that person that does that. Maybe it's not just about us helping our own selves and our own relationships get better. Maybe it's about us finding a way or looking for opportunities, if they present themselves, to mend situations with things outside, right? Whether it be, mother-in-laws, that it could be anything. But I think that's a very interesting thing to consider, that maybe it's not just between you two. Maybe there's something in your own life. Maybe okay, again, I'll give you an example about me. I don't know if this is true, but what if I'm supposed to, like, mend my bridge with my family before I can really go into union, in a strong way? I don't really feel that that's it, but I do think that's a good example, because there are some of you that you're not supposed to separate from your family of origin. You're supposed to help heal, and that's how you break the curse of the generational curse, is you show them. I believe it's my lot to show them from afar. Maybe some of you are supposed to be right up in there healing things. So reflect on this and consider that if there is anything stopping you from getting into union, and you say you are 100% down to do whatever it takes because that's all you really want, what if Divine presented this and said, haha, I know you well enough to know that the only way I'm going to get you to do this thing is if I make it attached to union. It's like a bill going through Congress, and they throw a loophole in. I know it sounds like, oh crap, why? No, Grace, I don't want that. But what if it's the truth? All right, let me read this before anybody goes crazy. There are times to drop everything and leave, and there are also times to carefully mend bridges with people, situations, and places. This is one of those healing times. Maybe there is a wound inside of you that needs to be forgiven or accepted. Transform the inner grievance. Do it now, for you no longer need to carry it with you. Perhaps there is a person from your past with whom you should reconnect. You know what you need to do. Take action now. So if you're struggling with this, here's what you need to do. You need to do the exercise. This is the Gateway Oracle cards. This deck has questions that you ask, and I really recommend that you take some time. Take out a piece of paper, take out your phone, write yourself an email, whatever, text yourself, write these questions down, and then try to answer them if you're struggling to figure out how this might apply to you. It says, if there was an area of my life that needed mending, what might it be? Okay, if there was an area of my life that needed mending, what might it be? What is the first step I need to take toward resolving a current rift I have with someone? What is the first step I need to take toward resolving a current rift I have with someone? And your first inclination is probably going to be, your divine masculine, but maybe take a moment and just ask, is there anyone I need forgiveness from, or anyone I need to forgive right now? And walk yourself through what it would take to clear those situations up. And then the last question is, could this card represent something within myself that I need to give attention to or mend? And this could be saying, maybe this is your own internal masculine and feminine. Maybe your masculine inside of you is mad at how much attention you've given to this other masculine that isn't even doing what they're supposed to be doing. And your inner masculine who wants to protect you, just like it would, if you were a true masculine and you probably want to protect everyone around you, like your inner masculine is mad at you. And, what if you have some internal issues with your child self or your adult self or whatever? There's, what is it? There's the spirit body, there's the emotional body, there's all these different beings and waves of existence that reside together within us and make this kind of energetic, dense mattered thing. But it's like, what is in you that might need to be released or healed? All right, I'm gonna do this last deck. Let's see who we could be embodying. What story of hope or truth from the future, past, whatever, do we need to be aware of? We've got Lala, the saint of spoken words. And then underneath her is Khadijah, the mother of believers. And then we have Inhedwana, the high priestess. I always say, this is me. I'd be like, oh, it's me. You see me? All right. So the high priestess, the mother of believers, and the saint. A saint, a mother, and a high priestess. I feel like this is the Empress energy within us, all right? I feel like this Empress energy needs to allow to be more full, to step into its fullness. Maybe it's your inner feminine is mad at you, for maybe your inner light worker is mad at you because you gave up on your light work and said, nope, I'm not doing that until I get into union. Whatever. Let's find out though. What's this about? Okay, I knew it. I knew this was going to come out. How did I know? Where is it? So when I was shuffling this deck right here, there was this card that slipped out of my hands and it didn't matter where it was in the deck, it would slip. Come here. Are you in the back or something now to mess with me? Of course you are. Oh my gosh, here we go. So this card right here kept slipping out of the deck. And I was like, dude, what are the odds? And I said, I bet it's going to be the cosmic egg. And, I've started to just give up like on trying to like, sometimes I feel like I'm manifesting it or something, or you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm going to make the cut. No, sorry. It's just, I can sense it. I can sense things before they happen now, simply because my understanding of energy has expanded and I no longer feel so stuck in the present moment. I think it's also how I understand how to heal now. I mean, there's a lot that, honestly, you guys, I wrote it into one of my books. It's the first book series I ever came up with. It's going to be my, version of my Harry Potter or Twilight, and not necessarily in the sense of it being like those kinds of books, but more in the sense of it's going to be the thing that catapults me into the place I need to be in order to change this world. And so it's like, I can see these things, and in the same way I describe my characters as just having this fundamentally different understanding of how the molecules work with respect to whatever power they have. So I have one character, and hopefully I'm not giving too much away here, copyright. I have one character who is able to manipulate fire, and it's simply because her brain was gifted with this understanding of how heat molecules actually work in the universe. And so I think I even wrote out in the past, like how we all have our gifts. And I think I'm just able to start sensing things. I don't know why, but I think there's someone out there who might need to hear that, you're not crazy, or it's not a coincidence when certain things occur, and you kind of write it off because you don't want to be that crazy person from the movies. And it's like, you just got to stop that. Stop doubting yourself, stop denying your truth, and just realize that if you've been blessed with something, every moment that you sit there and say, nope, that's not it, that's not it, that's not it, I would rather be reaching and think that everything that happens to me is a part of my gifting than to deny it and say it's not, because at the very least, at least I'm affirming and confirming rather than denying, right? Okay, all right, let's keep going. So we've got the cosmic egg, and seeing this is very interesting because we just had this part about giving birth, and this is what? The divine feminine. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever expanding love. Let's read. Okay. The cosmic egg. Whoa. Okay. The cosmic egg is the core symbol of the divine feminine's creative force. It is a spiritual motif found in the creation myths of countless cultures and civilizations. It represents a birth, a new beginning, or an expansion of life. So right now, the divine masculines, they want to communicate to you that the way to go about doing all this, the way to go about moving forward in a way that allows union and reunion energy to flow into your life, is to realize that you either need to be having a birth right now, you need to be having a new beginning, or you need to be having an expansion of life. Some of you are going back to that hut that we talked about in the Two of Wands. You're going back to that the totem. What's it called? The queen. The po- the. Oh, I lost it. Let me look at it. The lodge. Go back to the lodge, and you need to go give birth. Some of you don't know that you've just been holding on to this baby, and that's why you feel so sick. You felt like crap. You've been saying, I've been feeling union coming for 2 years. No, that's the baby inside of you trying to get out, you weirdo. Are you not paying attention? Look at all that spiritual weight you've gained. You didn't notice that you've been eating more and more and more, and you're starving all the time. You've been eating for 2. Give birth to that baby. Ooh, Grace, relax. In the Rig Veda, one of the oldest texts in any Indo-European language, the cosmos is described as a golden egg-shaped womb. The entire universe is said to have emerged from it. If you're in the class society, one of your tribe members shared a womb healing, what is it, binaural beat? So you should join the class society if you're not already in there. That's the kind of stuff that we do. It's not just about twin flames or not just about light work. There's all kinds of amazing stuff that gets shared. Really dope. The entire universe is said to have emerged from it. In Greek mythology, the Orphic egg hatched from the primordial hermaphroditic deity who then created all the gods and goddesses. It is depicted as an egg with a serpent wrapped 3 times around it. In Egyptian, Chinese, and Polynesian mythologies, among others, creation begins with an egg. And in the Christian tradition, Mary Magdalene used the egg to describe how life begins again after death. In modern cosmology, it is believed that 13 billion years ago, the entire mass of the universe was compressed into a gravitational singularity, the so-called cosmic egg. And from that singularity, the universe has expanded ever since to its current state and continues in this moment to expand even further. Did you know that? Did you know that the universe is constantly expanding? I'm gonna leave that there. So when your soul selects this card, ooh, y'all about to get so mad, but don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger, child. Nothing needs to happen. Everything is exactly as it should be. I'm gonna read that again. Nothing needs to happen. Everything is exactly as it should be. You hold the universe inside of you. All life emerges from within. If you try to exert pressure for something to exist before it's ready, the new life within you won't have the time it fully needs to form. The cosmic egg is the essence of the divine feminine. It is the ultimate symbol of the creative force that exists within each one of us. It's the dark, loving womb that holds and protects all creative expressions of life. If we allow what's within us to emerge in divine timing, in kairos or soul time, then what's within us will transform us. The egg is the trust that what is ours can never be taken from us. So there's no need to answer the ego's push to rush the process, to impress others, or to complete something on someone else's timeline. The egg is the faith that our process is sacred, that even in the midst of what looks like chaos or delay or even death, there's a tendril of new life that needs only our trust to eventually take form. And the egg is knowing that when that life begins again after death from within. The soul voice meditation is where am I ready to expand? I love this. I think the divine masculine has been trying to get your attention for a long time. And sometimes readers may not catch it because it's so redundant. It's so redundant. I get tired of saying, hey, you guys, 2020, 2020, 2020. And yet all I keep hearing is be ready, do it now, get it done now so that when 2020 comes, you don't have to deal with that. Do whatever. Everything is about being ready for 2020, while at the same time, it's making the most of today. It's the most amazing power that I've received in the entire time I've been in this ministry. I'm really excited to sit here and say to you, hey, listen, focus on you. It works. It's worked for me and every single client that I have seen walk into union in the past year. Every single one of them had the exact same end experience when it came down to the step before union. Every single one of them said, screw it, I give up. I'm going to focus on me in some way, shape, or form. Every single one of them. I'm just trying to tell you, Your divine masculine is saying your final question is, where am I ready to expand? You can say, I'm ready to expand into union. All right, listen, you need to stop that. I'm serious. Serious. Stop that right now. I know you are, and everyone knows you are. You've been making it very, very clear in all the comments you write on YouTube. You've been making it very clear everywhere you talk about twin flames and union and all that. You've been making it very clear to your guides how much you think about it and obsess over it. You've been making it very clear to God about how much you pray. We know you want to expand into union. Now that you've made that very clear, where else would you like to expand? Where else would you like to make yourself bigger? Where else would you like to share your energy with the world? Where else would you like to fight for the greater good? Where else would you like to focus on a higher way? Where else would you like to? Because guess what? We know. Everyone knows. I know, you know. If you're watching this video, YouTube knows. And YouTube's going to keep sending you union videos. Okay. If you don't understand how Google AdSense works and how advertising and all of that works in this day and age, you should figure it out, because all those things you see are not syncs. So look, take it back to zero. Before you knew about twin flames, where did you want to be by now? Wait, what? Is it still about the masculine? No, look at that. It starts to slip away and you start to feel bad. That is why you feel bad. You don't feel bad because you're not in union. That is something you've decided to apply this feeling to and say, oh, my life is bad because I'm not where I want to be with this person. No, it's not. No, that's not actually the truth. The truth is everything else in your life has made you unhappy, if that's how you feel. If you feel unhappy right now, it's everything, okay? At the most, you should feel bittersweet that everything else in your life is going so well and you're just missing this one thing. But you should not feel like crap constantly if you're in a good place mentally, spiritually, physically, all of that, other than union. It is time to listen to what's within and what has been calling and begging and pleading and screaming for a fresh start. Your divine masculine is now begging you. You guys want to know why I get so spicy sometimes when I do these DM videos? Because, as you might remember, I have always been the type of chick that hung out with dudes and had homeboys and blah, blah, blah. I'm always the one who I will tell my homeboy, you know, you deserve that. You're being an idiot or whatever. But straight up, I will have no problem telling a chick where all her friends won't tell her stop doing that thing. Well, all her friends won't tell her that's why he don't like you. I will tell you. So straight up, with all the love I have in my heart and soul for you, I'm telling you right now that as much as he might have messed up, I know I don't know the situation and I get it. If you are still obsessing over him, her, in this moment, right now, if they are all that what matters in your life, you are not expanding, you are contracting. And that contracting shell around you that is shrinking you and crushing you and killing you, you are the one who decided to sit inside of that shell. You are the one who decided that you were not going anywhere. Now you have the chance in this very moment to stand up. Literally standing up will break the shell. Do you understand that? You have been crushed into submission. Stand up and do what you're supposed to do. Ooh, y'all just got saved by Mr. Lightwork. Baby, I was preaching to them. Right. Can I just tell you, can you just come here real quick and talk to them with me? Because I feel like they're going to think that I'm mean.
You're the nice one.
Exactly. So come here. This is what I've been trying to say to them in this moment. I keep getting these messages from the Divine Masculine Collective, all these same things coming, saying, you know, you need to focus on you. You need to take care of you. You need to, and it's like, they don't want to hear it. Some of them know it's true and they need like the slap in the face to be like, dang it, this is my problem. But some of them, they just don't believe it. So is there anything from just me saying that and you being involved in this twin flame community on the other side, being the masculine who kind of tries to stay away from it because it's just so crazy, is there anything that you would have me tell them or anything you would like to say in this moment? Because I do have the sense that there are plenty who are going to watch this and who are going to end up going into union soon because they finally get the slap that they've needed. And it might be beneficial for them to hear some of these words from your voice.
And what you keep finding is The baseline is
Worry about you.
worry about you.
You can even talk about me if you want. I won't be mad.
So when you're not worried about you, that means you're worried about him. And when we feel, or personally, when I feel like I'm being worried about, I get stressed. I get annoyed because now I feel like I got to perform, or I feel like I'm being under a microscope. So I just get annoyed. And usually when I get annoyed enough, I start to move away from the thing that's annoying me. So I start to distance myself, and it happens every time. It never fails. The more harped on I feel, or the more focused on I feel, because I feel like I'm focusing on me enough for everybody. So there's no need for you to do it too. And the fact that I'm not really familiar with people caring enough about me, so it feels weird, even though it's coming from a genuine place. It's all well and good in your intentions, but ultimately life is about perception. So if I perceive what you have a good intention to be doing as fucking annoying, bruh, it's fucking annoying. I don't care how you feel, how good you feel, like feeling like you're tending to me, or whatever the fucking case may be. It's annoying. As soon as you focus on you, then you start to feel better about yourself. And then I'm like, oh, okay, she's feeling good. Well, shit, cool. And shit's back to normal.
So interesting. We've got a divine masculine saying, when you focus on me, I can feel it and it gets annoying.
I can't focus on me
because now
I'm focused on you,
it's
focused on me.
When you stand over someone's shoulder as they're doing something and they mess up,
exactly,
and they don't know why they're messing up, but they do.
Exactly.
Okay, now I just want to remind you, y'all have watched this video for 56 minutes. You guys know he just walked in the door. You guys know he did not hear anything I just said. You know it. You were here, you heard, you know it. And yet he came in and said from a 3D perspective. I'm talking about from the 5D.
Oh yeah, that was super 3D.
That was a 3D perspective, and it sounded exactly like the 5D perspective. I need you guys to understand that this is not me trying to be, you see how he talks? And he said, I'm the nice one. Can you see where my inner masculine comes out to try to talk to y'all? Can you see it now? I can't help it. It's just a part of me. But I need you guys to recognize this. If in the 3D, the divine masculine feels like you're looking over his shoulder, how do you think the 5D feels, as much as y'all be up in their business in the 5D? Some of you pride yourself on how much you're doing in the 5D on their behalf or for them. When I talk about manifesting in the 5D, I really am talking about yourself. When I talk about manifesting good things for the divine masculine, I really mean in your own life that they would appreciate. What's up, babe? You came back. What's up?
No man wants to be handed anything.
Also true.
So if you're doing work for him in the 5D, it's going to be felt. Because he also has an awareness of some sort. So don't do that either.
Wow.
Leave him alone.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, again,
love you guys though. Love you guys.
We do. We all love you. Those of us in union, those of us who maybe there are people probably who don't even believe in twin flames and still want to love you anyways. And I think that you get mad at them and you say, oh, you don't understand because you're not a twin, but we are twins. And we have had a really much different relationship than most average twins would, because Mr. Lightwork and I found out about twin flames at the same time, or really not found out, but like began discovering it and exploring it at the same time. So he's been in this as long as I have, and he still feels very standoffish towards it, which is why his channel, he kind of had to take a pause, because it's like he doesn't want to lie to you guys and tell you what you want to hear, and I don't either. So if you've made it this far, if you didn't click off yet, if you are in shock, half of you might be new and don't even know I've got a masculine who's here. And, it's like, I need you to understand, we're not trying to be nasty. We're not trying to be mean, and we're not trying to hurt your feelings. You've got the 5D masculine saying, focus on your own expansion. Don't worry about my expansion. There's a reason for it. It's not just because they want to hurt your feelings, because I know that every reader, every good reader, is going to tell you that you need to make sure you're good first. Every good reader is going to tell you that it's really important that you do your light work. Every good, to me personally, just saying that from a space of what I've dealt with and what I've like seen and been like, whoa, why would you just put that on YouTube? Or you never know how someone might receive that. That's not healthy. That's not good. I don't want you to go down the bad path because of things you've been told by others. Good readers are going to tell you it's really important to make sure you're good first. Good readers will be happy to inform you of what's going on in their life and share some things with you and all of that, but ultimately they're always going to point it back to you and say, hey, you're a mirror. What is it that you need to be doing? Now you have a message directly from the 5D masculine, and you got a actual 3D masculine to come in and repeat it without having heard the whole message. It is time for you to expand on your own. It is time for you to expand on your own. There is no more room for you worrying about everyone else. It will be the greatest challenge of your life to release the mother hen energy that has overwhelmed you, has taken over your life, and to then apply it. If you're going to keep it, apply it to yourself. And if you're going to release it, allow yourself to go with the flow of positive expansion. Are you up for the challenge? If you are up for this challenge, comment below challenge accepted. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you are the most obsessive. I don't care if you are actually super detached and just like to listen to me because I'm hilarious. I don't care where you are. If you are ready to accept the challenge, regardless of being in union or not, all that to the side, as a divine feminine, stepping into the ultimate creative consciousness that you have to allow you to not only expand within, but to expand without. If you are up for the challenge, I want you to comment below challenge accepted right now. I'm up for the challenge. And Mr. Lightwork has raised his fist in solidarity with you for those who are up for the challenge as well. What up, what up?
I love a good challenge.
You love a good challenge, babe?
Love it.
He does. He's always looking for one. I'm just kidding. All right. So, I'm Fiery Grace. I'm an intuitive life strategist. And if you can't tell, I'm really, really into life coaching. So if you're looking for a degular reader, I'm not the one. Welcome. Can you see the whole welcome? There it is. Welcome to me. I'm just kidding.
I love it.
I love you. All right, so we've got the Fiery Grace, Guidance by Grace, Handmade Hope, My Expertise, and the Class Society. These are all Facebook pages or groups that you can locate on facebook.com and join to keep up with me. The Class Society is the group of all of us, divine feminines, and there are some divine masculines as well. And my Instagram is Guidance by Grace, okay? So Instagram, Guidance by Grace. I offer, all types of readings. I also do long-term coaching. I do have a couple of slots available. I have not been able to solidify those yet because I just haven't had the time. So also those of you who have applied to be coaching candidates, please just give me a little bit more time. Actually, I think I emailed you guys last night. Live phone sessions, live YouTube readings, and recorded video readings. Those are the different services or the ways you can receive your services. And then there are intuitive tools like runes. I make handmade twin flame runes. I also have Handmade Hope, which, just so you guys know, Handmade Hope for the homeless is called Handmade Hope because the bags that I give out are handmade. Not everything that you purchase through Handmade Hope will be handmade at this time because, again, a lot of this stuff is coming from a festival from before. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, there are gift sets available right now through Handmade Hope. Everything that you purchase through Handmade Hope goes directly into the homeless ministry. So if you're interested in supporting the community in my area, there's a few different opportunities for you to do that. Just email me, or you can also just search Fiery Grace Handmade Hope, and some of the videos about the service or the business will come up, okay, for you to see. My website is thefiregrace.com. You can book your services, but you can also purchase your gift sets and make donations there. I usually don't push donations, but because this year I'd like to give out homeless bags with extra cash in them. So you guys know I give out homeless bags already, and especially around Christmas time and the holiday season, I'll do it. This year I'm making gift bags, so like they'll actually look like Christmas presents, and they're gonna have a larger denomination. Normally the bags come with in between like $1 to $5, but I'm hoping to maybe put anywhere between like $5 and $30 or $50 in some of these bags. It just depends on how many donations I receive. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you're interested, you can say, hey, I'd like to be a part of that, and I'll make sure to apply your donation there. You can email me for any assistance with booking, and you can also just send an email to thefiregrace@gmail.com, and you'll receive a auto reply back, and that auto reply will have everything you need to know about booking. You can book your session through PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, and these are the different session types of sessions that I offer. So don't forget, channeled love letters are on sale all month long. There are all kinds of different launch strategy sessions, soul purpose sessions, light worker sessions for those of you who are interested in getting ready for 2020. And then there's, of course, just the typical DM Insights readings. I also offer prophetic messages. Please keep in mind that as a prophetess, I have offered you guys plenty of services on the website. So if you're interested in, DM, twin flame stuff, that stuff is there. But if you're interested in just speaking to me as a prophet, I will not be talking about your twin flames stuff during that point, because there are plenty of other services to do that. So just make sure that if you're interested in like a prophecy session or anything like that, that you are prepared for it to be about you, okay? And not because of anything about anything being wrong, or it's just because I love you and I want you to get some help too, okay? All right. I love you guys. This is dope. Challenge accepted, eh? All right. Say bye, baby.
Bye, baby.